Hello students, today I am going to discuss about perfect competition, how price and output is determined in this market structure. You know that different markets have different ways of deciding the price and output. In perfect competition, since there are large number of sellers and buyers in the market and every buyer is selling the identical products, consumers are not able to differentiate the product. So, a seller is a price taker in perfect competition. If seller is a price taker and there are no entry barriers in perfect competition, how price is determined and how output is determined in the market? See, in perfect competition, the best example for perfect competition is agriculture. In agriculture sector, though the farmer is cultivating the crops, he is not able to decide the price of his product. Who decides the price of the product? It is individually is very small in the market, as the share of each individual player or individual seller in perfect competition is very small. As a result, he cannot determine, he is simply a price taker in the market. Then who decides the price in the market? It is the market which decides the price in the market. Market means group of sellers and group of buyers. Group of sellers is called market supply. Group of buyers is called market demand. In my today's video, I will be discussing about the pricing decision in perfect competition. Once pricing decision is done at market level, how each firm decides the output. That is the subject matter of my today's class. Let us discuss how pricing is done in perfect competition by taking a simple example like mango. So, mangoes, let understand the price determination in perfect competition. Let us take an example of mangoes. So, let us assume that the price of mangoes in this particular example, rupees per kg 60. At 60 rupees per kg, the market demand for mangoes 4,000 kgs are demanded and market supply is 6,000 kgs. Here at rupees 60, supply is more than the demand, which means excess supply is there. At higher price, the suppliers are willing to supply more and more and the buyers are willing to buy lesser and lesser quantity at a higher and higher price. If price is reduced from 60 to 50, then quantity demanded at the market level has gone up from 4,000 units to 5,000 units. But at the same time, the market supply has gone down to 5,000 units. At this rupees 50 market price, the demand is equal to market demand is equal to market supply. Which means there is an equilibrium in this market. Equilibrium means where market demand is equal to market supply, such a market is at equilibrium. So, but above this price, there is excess supply because supply is more than the demand. There is an imbalance between demand and supply forces. At below 50, the market also, again if you look at below 50 means 40, 30, 20, the market demand goes up because the buyers always wants to buy more and more at lower and lower prices, but the suppliers, the reverse behavior where the suppliers willing to supply less and less at lower and lower prices. So in both the situations, above the equilibrium there is excess supply, below the equilibrium there is excess demand. So both are imbalance, but the market is not at equilibrium at 60 or 40, 30, 20, but only at rupees 50. When the price is 50, the market demand is equal to market supply, which is called market clearing price. Market clearing price and market clearing quantity. Market clearing quantity. So, at QD is equal to QS, the market will be at equilibrium. So, let us demonstrate the same with the help of a diagram. On the x-axis, quantity demanded of mangoes and quantity supplied of mangoes are taken. On the y-axis, price of mangoes are taken. So we have start with 2000 is the least, then I am starting with 2000, then 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, 7000. Let me plot the market demand curve first, and the prices we have to take from 20, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Let me plot market demand curve first. At 60, what is the market demand? At price 60, market demand is 4000. Here, there is a point here. At price 50, market demand is 5000. Here. At 40, it is 6000. At 30, it is 6500, somewhere here. At 20, it is 7000. If we join the lines, if we join the points, you will get a curve called market demand curve. This is market demand curve. Similarly, if we also plot the market supply curve, at 60 the supply is 6000, which means here this is the point. At 50, 5000, this is the point. At 40, 4000, this is the point. At 30, 3000, this is the point. At 20, 2000, this is the point. So if you join these points, you will get market supply curve. This is market supply curve, MS. So here at this point, this is the point, equilibrium point, where market demand is equal to market supply, and then where the quantity is 5000. The market demand is 5000 and market supply is also 5000, and the market is cleared at rupees 50 price. So this is about equilibrium price. In perfect computation, since individual seller cannot decide the price, it is the market demand and market supply decides the price. So market demand, which we have seen earlier in the example of mango, 5000 is the equilibrium quantity and 50 is the equilibrium price. This is the price that is determined by the two market forces, demand and supply. This is at this price the seller has to decide the output. He doesn't have any decision with regard to pricing as an individual seller, but in farmer, he can determine the output based on the given price. Now the price is determined at the market level where demand is equal to supply. Simply he has to accept the price. So at price 50, let us say at price 50 is given by the market. He can supply various quantities at price 50. He can supply Q1, he can supply Q2. So if this line, he can supply any quantity at the given price. That's why this is the demand curve of a perfectly competitive firm, which means at given price, this particular firm can supply Q1 output or Q2 output or Q3 or Q4 on this line. So the demand curve faced by a perfectly competitive firm is perfectly elastic. This demand curve is called AR curve. The AR curve is average revenue curve, where we get average revenue by dividing total revenue with quantity. Total revenue, how do we get? Total revenue we get by multiplying price with quantity produced. We get the total revenue. So average revenue is this demand curve, which is horizontal to x-axis, which means the demand for a perfectly competitive output is perfectly elastic. So because of the firm in perfect competition is a price taker, AR is equal to MR is equal to price. What is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is equal to delta TR by delta Q. What is the meaning of this? For every additional unit of output which is produced, what is the additional revenue that is generated is called marginal revenue. So in perfect competition, because a firm is price taker, AR is equal to MR is equal to price. Let me prove this why AR is equal to MR is equal to price in perfect competition. So the price given in perfect competition is 50 and output a firm can supply at this 50. Let us say 1 unit he can supply at 50. At 50 he can supply 2 units. At 50 he can supply 3 units. At 50 he can supply 4 units, and infinitely he can supply various quantities at price 50, because 50 is given to him by the market. At 50 only he can supply any amount of output. So this is AR output Q, and total revenue is P into Q. How much it will be? 50, 100, 150, 200 total revenue. Then what is average revenue? When you calculate average revenue is nothing but total revenue divided by quantity. You get 50 divided by 1, 50, 100 divided by 2, 50, 150 divided by 3, 50, then 200 divided by 4, 200 divided by 50, this TR by Q, which means 50 divided by 150, 100 divided by 250, 150 divided by 350, 200 divided by 450. This is AR. What is MR? Marginal revenue is change in total revenue divided by change in total revenue divided by change in quantity. So the total revenue here is, you just see, change in total revenue is 100 minus 50. First unit is 50 only. Now second unit 100 minus 50 is delta 50, is 50 divided, delta Q is 50 divided by delta TR is 50 divided by delta Q is 1. So 50 by 1 is 50. Third unit you take, delta TR is 50 and then delta Q is also 150. Likewise, MR is also 50 and AR is also 50. That's why in perfect competition, AR is equal to MR is equal to price. If you look at, MR is 50, AR is 50 and then price is 50 in perfect competition. Now the question is, the price is determined at the market level and the firm is a price taker and it has to decide the output at a given price. Now what is the condition for determining the price by a single firm in perfect competition? There are two conditions. These are called output maximization conditions. A firm can decide the output by following two conditions. One is MC should be equal to MR. MC should be equal to MR is one condition. So you know the marginal cost, you have already covered cost theories earlier. Then marginal cost curve is this U-shaped curve. The marginal cost should be equal to marginal revenue. This horizontal line is marginal revenue curve, where marginal revenue MC is equal to MR at 2 points. At 2 points, point let us say X and at point B at 2 points. So the necessary condition for output maximization is MC should be equal to MR. At MC is equal to MR at Q1 and Q2 at both 2 points at X and B. But which is the point of output maximization? But the second condition, which is a sufficient condition, which will tell us the actual output maximization. MC should be rising portion of the MC curve. Because see, look at, if you see point X, if you take at Q1 output, if he stops producing, then he has to forego the opportunity of producing more, because he has scope to revenue, marginal revenue is greater than marginal cost. He can expand output. So this portion MC is falling. So he will not stop producing at point X, where by only OQ1 output he will produce, but he will expand output till point where other point where MC is equal to MR, till Q2 output he will be choosing the output level OQ2, because at OQ2 output at point B, MC is equal to MR. At that point, MC is rising. So this portion, if you just see the curve, MC is rising at this portion. So the second point, point B, is the output determination point or profit maximization point, where the first condition is MC is equal to MR, which is fulfilling at two places, at 2 points, but rising portion of the MC curve. Here the MC curve is falling, but this is not the portion because he has still opportunity to expand output. If he expands output, then he can till MC is equal to MR, another point at point B, where the rising portion of the MC curve is there. At this profit maximizing output, the firm may, in the short run, may get supernormal profits or may incur losses. Short run, what is short run? Short run is a period in which at least one factor, one input cannot be changed. Means at least one factor, the period is so short. For increasing the output, it cannot be possible for the firm to increase the output by increasing all inputs. At least one input, if the firm is not able to increase for increasing the output, such a phenomena is called short run. In the short run, a firm can get supernormal profits or a firm can also incur losses. How do we know a firm is getting supernormal profits or incurring losses? So at this equilibrium level of output or profit maximizing output, now the profit maximizing output is OQ3. Q3 is the profit maximizing output. At Q3, what are the profits of the firm? A firm can get supernormal profits or may incur losses in the short run. How do we know a firm is getting supernormal profits? For us to look at supernormal profits, we need to compare AR and AC, average revenue and average cost. If average revenue is greater than average cost, a firm will be enjoying supernormal profits. Supernormal profits. If AR is less than AC, losses. AR is less than AC, losses. If AR is equal to AC, then normal profit. Normal profit. So, if we need to compare AR and AC, in the short run, these two cases may be possible. A firm may get supernormal profits or may incur losses in the short run. We are examining now, this is a short run equilibrium where any phenomena, now in this particular diagram if you look at where AC curve is at equilibrium level of output Q3, it is cutting the AC curve at this point. If you just draw a perpendicular line, there is a point. So now the price is P is here 50, this is 50, let us assume that the cost is 30. So average cost in this particular, the length of this line, the average revenue which is nothing but price is equal to 50 and average cost which is 30. See, how do we get average cost? This AC curve, we have AC curve. Then if you draw a perpendicular line here like this, then vertical line till then wherever it is touching the AC curve, you just draw a line, a horizontal line. Then this 30 units is the average cost, 30. So now per unit output, per unit profit, which means AR minus AC, which is 50 minus 30 is 20. This is per unit profit. So if you want total profit, then total profit will be per unit profit into output. Per unit profit into output, which means 20 into output is Q3, which we have not given. Q3, let me assume that 100 units. So 100. So this is 2000. 2000 is the total profits of the firm. So this rectangle, this is this vertical line, 50 minus 30 is the per unit profit, average profit. This rectangle, the area of this rectangle is the supernormal profits. So these dotted lines, this box, if you calculate this, if this is 100, 100 into 30, 100 into 20 is the difference, 100 into 20 is 2000. What is this area? PB Q3O is total revenue. PB Q3O is total revenue. Let me assume this as C. Let me assume this D. DC Q3O is the total cost. If you minus total revenue minus total revenue minus total cost is the total profit. From the diagram itself, we can calculate total revenue. This is the entire area, this box, area of this box. Then area is box total revenue. Area of this box is total cost. If you minus total revenue minus total cost, will give us the total profit. And if you know the per unit profit, if you multiply with the quantity produced, will give us the total profit of the firm. This is about short run equilibrium and the firm getting supernormal profits. In my next video, I will be covering a firm if it incurs losses in the short run, then what is the situation, where will be the AC curve, and whether the firm will continue in business or will shut the business. We will study in my next video. Please subscribe my video for further lectures. Thank you.